everybody, Krista here. Have you ever wondered, is it or is it not okay to curse at work? If so, that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. If you're new here, I'm Krista Smith, and I'm on a mission to help ambitious women thrive as leaders by sharing what I've learned and am still learning as an executive, a lifelong optimizer, and a beauty school wannabe. Let's get into it. The reason I'm in my car today is that I had a quick minute after dropping off a kiddo at school to talk with you guys about something that I find really interesting, and that was a viewer request. So thank you for the viewer requests. Keep them coming. Also, I pulled over to talk to you today because my mom was really worried about me driving and talking to you guys. So this one's for you, Mom. This topic of whether or not you can cuss or curse at work, I find incredibly interesting. First of all, full disclosure, I love cursing. And I think that there's nothing better than punctuating a strong thought or a lot of passion with a good F-bomb. And I know that we have to be really careful, especially at work. This is also a really interesting gender question to me, because I think that cursing is taken very differently whether it comes from a woman or a man. I don't have really good answers for that, but I think it's something really important that we recognize, that we have to be even more situationally aware as a woman if we are going to leverage the tool of cursing. All right, first and foremost, whether or not you can curse in your work environment, I think really requires the ability to read a room. This is something that needs to be done at the right time, in the right context. If you're not confident in your ability to read a room, I would say stay clear. The first thing that I think, as we are considering whether or not you can curse at work, is what is your work's general culture? Do you work in a really conservative culture where people tend to have a very formal chain of command and are a little bit old school? Or are you in a much more casual, more modern work environment? I would say that the more modern, more casual the work environment, probably the more likely cursing is going to be acceptable. Next, in the particular context that you're considering cursing, is that a small informal context or a large formal context? I recognize this is a whole range of context, but it's really important. You need to be very careful about throwing out curse words in a large formal context. There's going to be a lot of people watching you and a lot of different opinions. Conversely, if you're in a small informal context, maybe with your very small close-knit team, everybody knows each other well, is comfortable with each other, it might be more acceptable. Finally, something that's incredibly important on whether it's going to be okay for you to curse at work is, what is your role at work? Are you a leader that sets an example, that has hundreds of eyeballs on you every day, questioning whether or not you're doing the right thing and judging whether or not the choices that you made are appropriate? If that's the case, you need to be more careful. If you're an individual contributor working in a small team and don't have quite as many eyes on you, be careful, there are always eyes on you no matter your role in the organization, then you might have more latitude to curse if you want to curse. Something always to look at is, do the highest level leaders in your organization throw out curse words? If the answer is no, never, then that is a clue that you're in a more formal environment and or that it's just not acceptable in your workplace. So in conclusion, first and foremost, you've got to look at that context of your whole workplace. Is it informal, formal? Do people generally follow rules and have a very hierarchical structure, or is it more casual? And then the three areas to consider after you've looked at the context and read the room is the general work culture, the setting that you're in, big and formal, small and casual, and then finally, what is your role in the organization? I hope this is helpful. Keep those viewer comments and suggestions coming. I absolutely love them. And I hope you have a really great week. Talk to you soon.